Stories this morning. The time 11 minutes past 8. In a few moments, Carol's going to have a full weather forecast for you, but just briefly, take your brolly.
Yeah.
That's the message.
Now, the headlines at the G20 Summit in Cannes so far, but financial help for other countries is also on the agenda.
Today, the Microsoft founder Bill Gates will tell leaders they can raise billions of pounds to fight global poverty by a small tax on financial transactions.
It's being called a Robin Hood tax. The actor Bill Nighy supports it, and he's in Cannes as an ambassador for Oxfam. And he joins us now. Morning, Bill. Thanks very much for taking the time to speak to us. The Robin Hood tax, can you explain how it would work?
The Robin Hood tax is a 50p tax on every £1,000 generated in cyberspace, with the kind of gambling that precipitated the financial crisis that we're all now suffering from. It would be at each country's discretion to distribute the money as they saw fit, but the suggestion is 50% for domestic purposes, child poverty, affordable housing, benefit traps, and 50% to be split into two, 25% for climate change and 25% for more traditional targets, such as trying to prevent 500,000 women dying every 12 months trying to do something as simple as having a baby.
When you talk
it would
about
kind of institutionalise charity.
OK, when you talk about gambling, are you talking about people who are actually buying stocks and shares, or people who are, as they put it, spread betting, i.e. betting on the level of shares, the way they go up and down?
The kind of spread betting, the kind of sterile, unproductive, you might say, transactions that take place in cyberspace. This tax would fall quite squarely on the broad shoulders of the rich. It doesn't involve any members of the public, which is possibly why it's one of the most popular taxes in the history of income tax. It's also supported by some serious people, money experts like George Soros and Warren Buffett. Bill Gates, as you said, is about to address the leaders of the summit here today and recommend such a tax. The Archbishop of Canterbury has recently come out in support of the tax, as has the Pope, and Nicolas Sarkozy, Angela Merkel, 1,000 economists and 1,000 parliamentarians, and millions, of course, millions of protests, which I think the dignity and restraint of the protests throughout the world have had an enormous effect, not least on the Robin Hood tax, which has gained considerable ground in recent months.
Well, even the Prime Minister yesterday during question time said he supported it, the idea of it in principle. The difficulty is getting everybody to impose it at the same time across the board in every country, because otherwise, if you impose it in some countries, not others, all the big business goes somewhere else, doesn't it?
No, that's absolutely not the case. If we, the UK, embraced it on our own, it would be a wonderful, beautiful, inexpressibly fabulous thing. It would be an event. We don't need the rest of the world. As it happens, France, Germany, South Africa, Argentina, Spain, possibly Brazil, all of them are likely to support it at this G20 summit. And after Bill Gates addresses the leaders of the summit, it's very possible that others will join. So it won't be the UK in isolation or any other country in isolation, but should it be, it would still be a marvellous event.
Are you concerned that with the focus so very much on the Greek problem and the Eurozone bailout, that what you're trying to do at the G20 summit is going to be rather overshadowed by what is a pretty urgent crisis?
It makes plain, the crisis concerning Greece and other countries makes plain the fact that we have to fix the system. The system is faulty. The Robin Hood tax would go some way to helping to fix the system. And it would also give the bankers an opportunity to atone and to help clean up the mess which they themselves created. It wouldn't in any way affect their lifestyles or their bonuses. There was some negative PR put out that they would all go and live in Switzerland should we impose the tax. But apparently in an article in The Economist recently, they suggest that in fact the bankers are moving back from Switzerland because they find Geneva so dull.
Bill, thanks very much. Bill Nighy from...
Always entertaining.
No further comment. Geneva's a nice place, actually.
Very nice. More on the G20 Summit from Cannes, by the way, throughout the day on the BBC News.